Here are the three things you need after leaving the military. One is purpose, because let's face it, the vast majority of veterans have a purpose problem, a fulfillment problem, an identity problem the moment they leave. Probably felt this yourself as a veteran, or you might be experiencing this yourself when you're approaching the end times of your end of active service or your EAS. You're going to end up leaving what you've been familiar with for so long. And it was easy to justify the purpose in your life during the time you served, whether it was active duty or even in the reserve component, it doesn't matter. You had a purpose in your life at that point in time, the moment you signed a contract, whatever that purpose for you was to serve your country, to provide for your family, things like that. That purpose was easy when you were able to sign that contract, get into boot camp or recruit training, whatever the case, got that title of Marine or became a soldier and then started serving your country. Whatever the case might be, whatever degrees of purpose you had in there, it was so easy to justify having purpose there. But once you leave, the moment you separate yourself from the military, that purpose is gone, right? So you need to determine what kind of purpose you have for your life the moment you leave. So there's this quote you might have heard from former President Ronald Reagan, and it says, "Some people spend an entire lifetime wondering if they made a difference in the world. Marines don't have that problem." And obviously I'm a Marine myself, as you can see from the shirt, but that still applies for all branches. But that the statement here is that when you're serving, you don't have that problem, but the problem exists when you leave. So we need to decide what kind of purpose we want to have in our lives. So we could reflect on certain things. What do you love to do? What are your desires in life? What problems do you want to solve in the world? What are the problems that you faced prior that you've wanted to solve yourself? What kind of career do you want to get into? What kind of person or role model do you want to be for your family or for yourself or for a community of people? These are the things we need to start thinking about when we make this transition, because the purpose is probably the backbone of anything in life. Life doesn't have meaning if we don't have a purpose attached to it. You can be this narcissistic person all you want, but if you're not driving a mission or a purpose in your life to carry you forward until the day you're gone from this earth, then what's the point in life, right? We want to have a purpose in our life. I've struggled with this personally in my own transition, especially the first year or two. Coming out, I got out in 2023, and I just didn't know what I wanted, right? So I decided to just find some low-wage jobs. I didn't really have much of a big career path when I got out. I didn't really have a good plan. I was actually studying for an engineering degree while I was in the military, so I thought I had a plan, but when I graduated, I had a bachelor's degree and everything. I just didn't want to be in that career. And even then, if I even wanted to be in that career, I didn't even know what kind of field I could get into in engineering, or at least having that starter path. So that was very unclear for me. And when I was going through this schooling, I just didn't know what I wanted to, So I think there's a lot of factors in what you really want to do in this world while you're still alive, while you make this transition. And it can be very difficult, and it's not a clear and cut and dry path. For me, my purpose didn't really cultivate until I realized and recognized what were the problems I was facing in my own life. And I basically tried to form my purpose based on the pains and the problems that I faced in my life, especially coming out of the military. So for me, I struggled a lot with doom scrolling, video games, pornography. I struggled with isolation. There were so many problems in my life that affected the way I saw myself and the way I approached life in general. I didn't really have great mental health. I didn't have a good career. I felt like I was worthless outside of the military. Like the military gave me purpose, but like the moment I left, the moment I wasn't on base, the moment I wasn't with my Marine buddies, like a lot of that went away until I came back, until I would actually be on a field operation or with my buddies again. Like when I was back home, it just all that vanished. And then that just devastated me even more when I kind of left and I didn't really see this coming. So purpose is such an important thing in your life. I would really suggest reflecting on what it is that you actually want in your life. Sitting down for a moment, even if it's for a day or two, just pull out a pen and paper, write something down, turn off the noise of the world, turn off the distractions, turn off the phone, turn off the YouTube, turn off everything else, turn off this video. Of course, I would like for you to finish it if possible, but like, don't let the noise of the world tell you what you should do in your life, or let other people know what you should do in your life, because what your decision is probably going to be the most important decision you'll make, not from the noise of anything else. Listen to yourself and listen to what is it that's ultimately going to drive you forward. So purpose. Second is structure. So structure in the military, believe it or not, is actually a blessing in disguise. Even though you might not feel like it, you might not like the 0400 PT rucks or PT workouts, or the rucks, or going in at 0600 for work and leaving at a certain time, and like all these tasks that you got to do. And the structure that you have is built for a reason, because you're not living in a chaos environment, in a chaotic lifestyle, because the structure is what actually gives you freedom. It provides the discipline, it provides the routines, it provides the positive habits that lead you up into success. And the structure provided is a necessity for moving forward in life. And if you don't have a structure, you're going to live in chaos. And I don't know about you, like I'm not here to thrive on chaos. I want to be able to have peace and calmness and the ability to make the meaningful progress I want to make in my life based on the structure I have. So whether that be for my business, for my relationships, for my health, I want to be like going to the gym, having good structure with my spiritual walk in Christ, and other things around that. I want to be able to provide a good structure in my life so I could have the freedom to be able to pursue more of these things. If I have my whole life jumbled up, and like if I don't have something that's going to tell me like at this certain time I'm going to take care of this task, and at this certain time I'm going to take care of this. If I don't have that, then I'm just going to be wandering around aimlessly in my life. So structure is such an important aspect. So being able to manage your time, manage your attention, manage your routines, stewarding that time and attention towards your business, your work, your fitness, your family, your hobbies and interests even, that's crucial. So build structure in your life. That is probably the second most important thing. And a social network, and that would be number 3. So the biggest thing I hear about what most veterans miss, including myself, what I've experienced, is that people in the military miss the people they work with, the people they've networked with, people they've connected with, had friendships with, and built real relationships with. It's not the job, it's not your MOS, it's not the deployments, it's not anything around those lines. And some of you might say it differently. Maybe you liked your job, and that's great. But for the majority of veterans or people in the military, they said it was the people. They loved working with the people and built connections and relationships with those people. You've built a network throughout your years, especially when you came into the military at first. You were a recruit, or you're an E1, and you've grown as a person. You've developed yourself. You developed your skills for your job. You developed leadership skills, and you've grown alongside other people who've done the same with you. They've gone through the same trainings. They've gone through all the crap that you've gone through. You've struggled with them, and you've grown alongside with them. You saw their own development in their own life, which is beautiful, which is a beautiful thing. But once you leave, you basically leave the people you've connected with, if you don't maintain those relationships. And most veterans, like, we can be pretty bad at maintaining the relationships we leave. It's like basically leaving high school. Let's be honest, like, you probably haven't like reached out to every single person you've connected with in high school, right? I haven't either. There's like a very few people I've really connected with back in high school. Same for the military, even into a bigger degree, right? I'm not comparing high school to military, that's crazy. But like, that's just an analogy there. If we leave a community behind, leave something behind, we're inevitably going to leave the people behind as well if we don't maintain those relationships. So my biggest opinion is building a network of people that can relate to you and support you on your life's journey is the most underrated thing any man or woman can have. It doesn't even matter if you're in the military. It can be anyone. If you build up a network of people that you can trust, that you can relate to, that you can build relationships with, this can translate so well for business. It can translate so well for your work. It can translate so well for just living life. Being able to hang out with someone on a Saturday night or a Friday night, bonding with other people. That's what we've been able to do in the military for so long. And we still need that in the civilian world. That's crucial. We can't isolate ourselves. I struggle with isolation in the military a lot. And for years, when I isolated myself from my friends and my family, I locked myself in my room. I didn't want to talk with anyone. I was just going through the motions in life, and I just wanted to shut down the world. And I made that choice. I just wanted to play my video games. I just wanted to binge watch. I just wanted to like numb myself out from life responsibilities and life problems. And that's not the way to go. That's not the answer. That is not the answer at all. And if you're someone who is isolating yourself from the world, I encourage you, I plead with you to find a community, start building a community and a social network of people that actually know what you're going through. This is a crucial element. No man is an island. We can't do this alone. So that's what I encourage, to start building a social network of people. And fortunately enough, I do have a community online that you can join called Mental Momentum, helping other veterans and even first responder entrepreneurs start building businesses and transitioning from the service into an entrepreneurial role, become better leaders, do something that actually means something to you, connect with others. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're connecting and building relationships with another. So if you want to join that school community, feel free to join. I'd love to be able to connect with you, hop on a call, see if I could help. Those are the 3 things that I believe we need when we leave the military. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. What are some things that I might have missed that you, in your opinion, especially as a veteran, I'd love to be able to hear your thoughts on what you've gone through during your transition period, what you've had to personally go through, and what has helped you in the past. And I'd love to be able to hear it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Semper Fi.